I want to talk. Let's talk Halloween up this week. We kind of almost have to mentally gear ourselves for it because we have been. It's Halloween is so indoctrinated in us and in our. And I mean, kids like even Satori. She's not even 3 yet, and she knows Halloween's coming, sugar's coming, and it's that anticipation. So, what I try to encourage people is to reroute that anticipation and channel it to something different. So, for instance, right now, kids are like, oh, I'm getting a lot of candy. They're anticipating the candy. The candy's coming soon. So, my redirect is for younger kids, this will work. For older kids, we'll talk about that too. But how I'm rerouting the focus is the switch witch is coming. Start writing her letters. Tell her what gifts you want. And what we do is we have a switch witch. And this switch witch will come and take so they collect all their candy and they get to pick 2 of their favorite candies. It can be whatever they want. And then they put all the candy in a bag and they put it under their bed. And then the switch witch comes and takes the candy and replaces it with a toy. So we've started now. I'm playing in their minds. It's like, you're going to get so much candy. Can you imagine all this candy you're going to give to the switch witch and she's going to give you a toy? Why don't we write her a letter and you can tell her what you want? And so he's anticipating these things. And I'm like, okay, give me, do you just throw the candy in the trash? Absolutely. Yep. There's no point in poisoning my neighbor with it. So that's just how I feel. But so Tennyson this morning, he was like, oh, Halloween is in 7 days or 6 days. And I'm like, okay, what he was really saying is sugar overload is in 6 days. So I redirected him. I'm like, let's write a letter to the switch witch. And so redirect. He was like, oh, toys. So I'm like, yes, toys. Write down 3 top toys that you want. And so he was learning how to write them down. He was getting really excited about them. We were looking at pictures online. We were looking, and he was like, Mom, we need to go buy candy to give kids. And I'm like, we don't do candy in this house. What do you think other kids would like? Do you think they'd like tattoos? Should we get them like those cute little wash-off tattoos? What should we get? Should we get dinosaurs? What kind of fun little toys do you think kids would like? What would you like to get? And so he's becoming a part of this process. So we're redirecting. And when kids are involved in the process, it sticks with them better. Now, for older kids, not the same. So this is what one of my friends told me, and I thought it was brilliant. So she has a jar, and the kids fill that jar and this is like year round too, and I think this is a good idea for everyone, is any candy that the kids get from school, they bring it home, they put it in the jar, and and it must be a pretty big jar, but when the jar is completely full, they get a Nintendo toy that they can play on the weekends. So like a new game or something. And I thought that was really smart because they are anticipating and they're like, oh, look, we're almost filling the jar up with all of our school candies and stuff. So what she does is, and I thought this was brilliant too, for the older kids, and the younger kids now participate as well, but they spread out all their candy on the floor and she buys the candy from them. So certain sizes are 10 cents, certain sizes are 1 cent, certain sizes are a quarter, certain candy bars are like 50 cents. Yes, that can get expensive, so be careful with how you do your money. But as parents, I know for us personally, we have tons of change just lying around the house. So I would much rather buy the candy from my kids if they're not into the Switch Witch, or they can deliver it to like a dentist that gives kids money or gives them toys or anything like that. So it's all about redirecting. And so the kids will be like, oh my gosh, this candy bar mom's gonna give me 50 cents for this candy bar or 10 cents for this candy bar. So you're redirecting the older kids, and then and then talk to them about what they want to earn. It's like, what are you gonna do with this money? Like, what have you been burning for? Listen, if you sell me all your candy, I promise you this. Or if you collect all of this and give it to me, we will all go out to movies, or we will all go on this date, or we will all do something, And so it's so important that we recreate these patterns, that we recreate these traditions. That's Abby just growling right there. Because we don't want the sugar addiction to be what is ingrained in them. We want to create a new habit and a new thing that these kids are anticipating. So I hope that makes sense. Oh, for us adults, you guys, we are going to be, and I remember for so many years I would steal their candy. So that's why I left the peppermint patties and I left the lemon blueberry muffins on the meal plans. Make a lot of the chocolate peppermint patties, and then like if you know that you are going to want candy, eat the chocolate peppermint patties before and then eat some after. And just kind of, I don't want to say medicate, but reprogram yourself with the peppermint patties, because those are really yummy. They're really